Welcome to the webinar today, everybody. My name is Scott Pierce with Listings to Leads, and we're going to cover the new follow-up module that's going to be going live for everybody on January 10th, 2022. And today we're going to cover it and show you how that works and what to expect from it. It's only going to take like 10 to 15 minutes because it's just so easy. And so if we have time afterwards, and if anybody wants me to, I'd love to walk you through the presentation that we've got on how to use Listings to Leads to make over $250,000 this year. Great time to be going through this presentation, as this is a brand new year and you've got time to get this done. So I'm going to walk through this as well after we cover the follow-ups. And then we can cover some other things like how to do Facebook ads, some of the things that you can do with Facebook ads like targeting homeowners, your just sold, PDF guides for buyer leads and seller leads and all that kind of good stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to cover today. But the first thing we'll do is we're going to talk about follow-ups. All right. So generating the leads is absolutely awesome. But of course, we want to make sure that once we generate the lead, that we're going to be engaging the lead until they either buy, sell, or ask to be removed from our system. Right. So to that end, let's talk about something first, which is integrating with your current CRM. All right, so you may have a CRM. You may be using KV Core, Boomtown, Lion Desk, right? Another CRM that you've already got your follow-ups in. So let me just show you that briefly here real quick. In Listings to Leads, if I go to my profile, and there's a tab here called CRM integration. It's right between affiliate program and billing. And if you click on CRM integration, you're going to see we've got direct API integrations with all of these here. So Boomtown, Follow Up Boss, KV Core, right? Lion Desk, Real Geeks, Wise Agent. KW Command is coming soon. I would think within the next week or so. We're finishing up that integration with the, I think it's API Nation for KW Command. So that'll be coming soon as well. And if you're using a CRM and you want your leads to go to that CRM, but it's not listed here, most CRMs will fall under other CRMs right here, the very first one. And for example, Brivity, right? Or any other lead gen program. They'll have what's called a lead forward email address in that program. You can take that email, drop it right here, click save, and then that will send your lead from Listings to Leads to that CRM. Alternatively, we've got Zapier, and we got a lot of pre-built Zaps that you can take a look at here if that rocks your boat right there. So first things first, if you've got a CRM and you want the leads to go to that, again, profile, CRM integrations, and find your CRM or go to other CRMs and drop in your lead forward email address. All right, it's super easy. We get a lot of great feedback from this. So if you have any questions on that, by all means, get with our support team and they can help you out with that. All right, so that's integrating with other CRMs from Listings to Leads. The next thing I'll talk about are autoresponders. All right. So when you're running ads for your listings or for a landing page or a PDF guide, right, the autoresponder is the first thing that goes to a lead, whether it's a buyer lead or a seller lead. Now, for most autoresponders, you'll see them right at either the ad. So as you're creating an ad, the autoresponder will be there. If you're creating a landing page, the autoresponder will be right there in that landing page section. But we do have some default autoresponders for your listings. So think about your single property websites, your virtual tours. There's a lot of lead capture on those tools, all right? And if you go to listings, settings, there's a tab here called autoresponders. And so for example, to follow this home lead capture form on the single property websites and virtual tours, to schedule a tour, all of these here, right? We've got default autoresponders for all of these, but you can come in here and take a look at them and you can click to edit any of these autoresponders as well, all right? So anytime you generate a lead from Listings to Leads, that lead will get the initial autoresponder based on what they're doing. So for example, if they are clicking on an ad for a PDF guide for 5 dangers of overpricing your home, they're going to get an autoresponder where they can download that PDF guide. All right. If they click on an ad for a coming soon listing, all right, they will get an autoresponder. If they click the schedule a tour or follow this home form on a single property website, you see the autoresponders right here. All right. So the autoresponders will again be the first point of contact between you and the lead when they're engaging and interacting with your ads, your single property websites, your e-flyers, and so on. So all of those leads are going to get the an autoresponder. Now, if the lead is a buyer lead, then we've got a buyer follow-up for that. If they are a seller lead, then we've got the seller campaigns as well. All right. So you're generating leads. They get the initial autoresponder based on what they're doing. And then from there, they'll be dropped into a buyer campaign or a seller campaign. All right. So now let's go to the follow-up tab in Listings to Leads here. And these are the pre-built campaigns that we've got for you. Now, I believe for everyone, default is going to be the buyer lead follow-up and the seller lead follow-up. We've got a combined one here, buyer and seller lead follow-up, which will be made live for everybody here pretty soon. And think of a case where, let's say you generate a buyer lead, right? So someone comes in off of a just listed, let's say, but it turns out they own a home that they need to sell before they buy a new one. Well, then we're going to tag them as both a buyer and a seller lead, and they'll be put into the buyer and seller lead follow-up campaign. All right. So again, this is not live yet for everybody, but it will be soon. And before I get too far in, let me just say we're currently working on text follow-up. We're going to be doing BombBomb integration, video follow-up. We're going to be doing voicemail drop, slide dial follow-up. So we got a lot of other follow-up types coming, but initially we're launching just email follow-up right now. All right. So right now it's only going to be email, but we do have text, video, and voicemail drop follow-ups coming also. All right. You don't have to set anything up. All the autoresponders are set up by default for you. So there's nothing, most of our clients don't even realize that they can even edit those. Just because they work well, there's not really much of a need to edit any of those autoresponders. But again, if you need any autoresponder to edit that you can't find, let our support team know. They can point you in the right direction for that particular, whatever it is that you're trying to find there. All right. Now, when you click follow-ups in your account, there's going to be a walkthrough. So go through the walkthrough, but I'm going to show you essentially what's going on here. All right. So again, pre-built buyer lead follow-up campaign. The beautiful thing about these is they're perpetual. So they're going to go on forever. All right. And they're comprised of really 2 components for all of these follow-ups. One is PDF guides. So we got over 55 PDF guides for buyers and sellers. So in the buyer lead follow-up, for example, if I click on this, you will see almost every other follow-up contains a boatload of value. All right. So all these PDF guides, and they're all branded to you automatically. You may not even ever have seen these in your account before, but all of these PDF guides are branded to you automatically. And you can even change the colors that we're using in the guides. I'll show you that a little bit later. But you can see as I work my way down the campaign here, right? Pretty much every other email is offering a guide to that buyer, all right? This is a buyer campaign, so all of these PDF guides will relate to the home buying process, all right? And you can just work your way down here, all right? And it just goes on, and it goes on even after that, all right? Now, so about half of the emails will have guides. The other half of these will be very short pointed questions, all right? The problem with most of your follow-ups is that they're so long, they're trying to include everything, including the kitchen sink in that follow-up. And so most people don't even read your follow-up because they get your follow-up email, and they look at it and you got like 500 to 1,000 words and no one's got time for that. All right, so you can see here a follow-up here, for example, right? So they get, imagine you generate a lead, they get the autoresponder based on that ad, that PDF guide, that landing page, right? So they'll get an appropriate autoresponder based on what they're doing, and then they're going to be dropped in this case, into the buyer campaign. So on day 2, right, day 1, they get the autoresponder. The next day, right, the buyer lead would get this default email, right? Are you working from home more these days? Would a home office or work area be good in your new home? And so all we're trying to do is get them to reply back yes or no, right? Even a no is better than nothing, because now you know they don't, and you can email them back and you can start engaging with them, right? And so you'll see here, right, for those emails that do not have a guide, it's going to be a really short, pointed question, something related to the property that they may be looking for. Okay, in this case here, neighborhood amenities we're asking about. Here we're asking about how close do they want to be to work, right? And you get the idea, right? Super, super short. All the research we've done, all the testing we've done, all the feedback we've gotten from our clients who are nailing it on their follow-ups, the shorter the follow-up, the better. All right, we're not being lazy, right? This is not about being lazy and all that kind of, this is about respecting the time of the people that we're engaging with, right? We don't need to overload them with 500 words on why winter is a great time to buy. If they're looking to buy, they're looking to buy. I don't need to talk someone into buying in the wintertime, right? I just need to find out, what are they looking for, right? What are some of the characteristics of the property that they may be looking for? What are the characteristics of the neighborhood they're looking for? I can talk to them one-on-one about when's a perfect time for them to buy. Are they pre-qualified, right? All that good stuff. But what we're going to do in these follow-up campaigns is just engage with short, pointed questions, engage with value, these PDF guides that are all branded to you. You can customize the colors and so on, right? All the way through. And so what's going to happen is, if the lead never responds, right, what will happen is the follow-ups are timed, the first cycle through are going to go out daily, all right? So every day for about 2 weeks, the lead will get a follow-up email, all right? And again, for the buyer campaigns, the very first thing they get will be the autoresponder. The next day, they're going to get this email about working from home, right? After day 2, so day 3, they'll get the down payment assistance guide. Day 4, and you get the idea, all right? Now, if they never engage, they never respond, right? They never reach out to you, what will happen is, after this campaign is done, it's going to repeat, but on a weekly basis, all right? So now, right, for the first 16 days, they're going to get an email every day. Every day for 16 days, they'll get an email. And then on day 17, they won't get anything. And the next email they get by default would be day 23, right? And then day 30, day 37, day 44, and so on. You get the idea, right? And so these are, because here's the deal. No one is ever going to remember that they got this same email, right, a month and a half later, right? They probably won't remember 3 days later, but they're certainly not going to remember getting this email from you a second time if it's a month and a half later, all right? And then because there's 16 emails in the buyer campaign by default, and they go out weekly, that's like 4 months, all right? So even if it repeats a third and fourth time, that's no problem, because they're still in that buying cycle, right? They still have not answered, they still not engaged with you on anything. And so we're going to just keep repeating this campaign, right, weekly. And so it's going to, you know, like every 4 to 5 months, it'll cycle through again, right? Because here's the deal. Maybe they're not ready for this guide, right? They got other things going on in their life, right? You get you get all excited about maybe buying a house soon, and then life happens. And so that gets put on hold for a couple of months, right? And so maybe in January 7th, this guide is not really relevant to me because I got other things going on in my mind now. Even though I responded to a just listed ad or a PDF guide on questions to ask when buying a house. I still may not be actively ready to engage with you, but I'm getting your emails, right? I'm gonna get them daily for 16 days initially. And then after that, every week, I'll get those emails again. So again, day 16 is the last one for the buyer campaign. So 7 days after day 16, again, day 23, the first email goes back out again. Day 30, day 37. So it's almost a month later, right? I'm getting this email. And then the further down you get, the further out, right, it was since the last email was sent. Does that make sense for everybody? Right, hopefully this makes sense. So the idea is really two things to keep in mind. One, the lead will get an email every day, a buyer lead will get an email every day for 16 days, and then it'll go weekly until you either remove them or they unsubscribe, right? Let's click back. Let's take a look at seller campaigns. So again, similar to the buyer campaigns, the seller campaigns, again, they get an autoresponder. So think a just sold ad, maybe a PDF guide on 5 dangers of overpricing your home, maybe a what is your home worth landing page type of ad, right? So they get the autoresponder for that. They are dropped into the seller campaign, all right? So on day 2, they're gonna get this PDF guide on inexpensive ways to increase their home value. Again, all branded to you. On day 3, again, a quick little question, right? Day 4, safe home selling guide. Day 5, and I think this is like one of the longest emails here, but it's a funny one. So I think this works, right? Talking about Zillow and how Zillow's estimates are never that accurate. Have you ever gone to Zillow and actually read the legal or whatever it is stuff about their estimates? It's actually pretty crazy when you realize how off they even tell you they are. So, we want to make sure that we're letting our seller leads know about that. Right? Again, PDF guides, short questions, PDF guide, right? And so on. Same as the buyer campaigns. This will go daily for about the first, in this case, 19 days. So 19 days, they're going to get an email every single day with either a quick question or a PDF guide offering value, all right? After day 19, if they've not engaged, if you haven't removed them, if they haven't unsubscribed, then on 7 days after day 19, so day 26, we're gonna repeat. And then once a week, they're gonna start going out. So day 26, this would go out. Day 33, this would go out. And again, same as the buyer campaigns, none of these people are gonna ever remember that they got the same email 33 days ago, right? Because again, it gets back into they may have responded to a what is your home worth ad. They may have responded to a just sold ad, but if they did not engage with you, it's because life got in the way and they're just not ready yet. And so that's why we want to make sure that we're putting this evergreen follow-up content, right? This high impact content, so that when they are ready, right? When they are motivated to finally move and act, they've got an easy way to do it, right? Continually sending them 500 to 1,000 word essays and calling that a follow-up is never going to work, right? People, again, they just see it, their eyes glaze over, and they just delete it, right? When I'm going through my emails and I've got like 100 emails to delete when I wake up every day, the longer the email, the less likely it is I'm even going to read anything in it, because I just know, right? I don't even want to get involved in some email from some person who I don't even know that's trying to get me to waste 2.5 minutes of my time when I've got 5 minutes to delete about 50 emails to get to what I really need, right? So hopefully this makes sense for everybody, right? Hopefully this makes sense to everybody, and you get how this works here. So someone says, for what it's worth, I have 35 days of time. And so Jason, do you have that buyer and seller lead follow-up combined campaign in your account? So I thought that wasn't available for everybody yet, but if it is, that's even awesome. And I'll show that to you. Oh, yeah, got it, right, yep. Yep, exactly. Now, to turn these on, right, hit the toggle. So there's a couple of options here. Make it recurring, I would definitely leave that, right? And then turn my buyer campaign on, right? Hit save. And that's all you have to do, right? Now, here's the thing. These will not go out to past leads at this point, all right? We're just launching this. We want to make sure that the emails are going to get delivered. So these will only work for new leads to start off with, all right? You can imagine we have a lot of clients that have been working with us for the last 10 to 11 years that have thousands of leads in their system. And if we were to, from the beginning, start dropping emails to like hundreds of thousands of leads that are in our system, everyone's gonna hate it because it's gonna start going into spam right away, all right? So we need to launch this in a more kind of a drip kind of a scenario, even on our side, where we're gonna start off flow by just doing it to new leads that you generate once you activate this, all right? So once you activate these campaigns, they will only go to new leads, and probably in about a month or so, I'm thinking, we will make the option available for your past leads as well, all right? But you can imagine if you generated a lead 6 months ago and you never followed up with them, right? Like you are not using another CRM with listings to leads, and all of a sudden they start hearing from you, you're probably gonna get marked as spam, blocked, or unsubscribed right away. Which is going to hurt the overall system and the overall email deliverability for everybody else. All right. So it was a hard decision that we had to make, but it was one that we did make for the benefit of everybody now and going forward. All right. So now, a couple of other things here. You can edit these. So if I come into the seller lead campaign, you will see, first of all, there's a settings here, so I can always come into settings. But back to campaigns, I can always send a test email to myself to see what it looks like. I can edit the email. And let me just say also real quickly, your signature will always be in here, right? So let me show you, for example, like right now, this looks pretty empty, right? It says first name, and then here's a question and about a free guide. But if I send a test email to myself, and I go to my email over here, my other monitor, give me a second here. I am on my other second monitor, and I'm going to refresh my Gmail. Here is my email. Let me pop it out of Gmail and bring it over so we can all take a look at it together. And so this is what the signature is going to look like in all of your emails, all right, all the follow-up emails. Your profile picture, right, your signature right here, all right? So this is what all those emails are going to look like. Let me do one more here. So let's go to this one. In fact, let's take a look at this one here. So if I click send test email, I'll send it to myself. Let me go to my other monitor again. There's the email. I will pop it out. And so even though inside the editor, you do not see your signature, the signature will be there in all of the emails, all right? So again, there's that signature at the bottom, but you will not see it here, right? You won't see that signature right there below the image, right? But it is in the email, and you can always see what it looks like by sending a test email to yourself, all right? You can delete these, right? So if I click edit here, again, I can change the time I want the emails to go out. I could change even the day that it gets sent, right? I can edit the text or the image, right? I can save drafts and test or close, right? So there's a lot of customization that you can do here. Now, you can also just create an entirely new campaign. So if I want to create a campaign out of, scratch, I can do that. I think, let me see if I can duplicate a campaign here. I can't remember if I can edit. Here, this is, I think I love this idea. Restore default data. So if you get into editing one of these campaigns and you realize like, God dang it, like you completely screw it up, you can always click restore default data, and that will bring that campaign back to its default, text and images and all that kind of good stuff. All right. So that's there. You can do an email blast. So for example, let's say it's Thanksgiving, you're going to do a pumpkin pie giveaway. And so you want to send an email out to all of your leads. You can do that here. Pumpkin pie, or maybe Valentine's Day is coming up, right? So Valentine's Day, Cupid, right? Whatever, just off the top of my head. And I want to send this to all my leads. And then on the next page, I'll be able to build the email. And then I can send that to my database, right? I can send a test email to always send a test email to yourself, right? Never send an email out to anybody without testing that first, all right? So always make sure that you do that, all right? So campaign email blast right there. You got your contact list, right? So I got 3,000 seller leads, 3,000 so on buyer leads. You can create folders, right, for different lists. And then you got your settings. All right. So let me see here. Julie had a question. Well, the email signature is set up by default. So there's nothing you need to do. All of that is set up. The best way to see what it looks like, you can go to your profile or just send yourself a test email. All right. Just go to follow-up, send a test email, and you'll see what the email signature looks like. All right. Now, I am sure there's going to be a lot of feedback on this. All right. There's a green button here in the purple banner. So please do not hesitate to send us feedback. All right. We are putting a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work hours into improving the follow-up. So you're going to see pretty soon, even on your account dashboard, right? It's going to start looking a little bit more like a CRM dashboard where you've got, all the new leads that you've generated, the people that are opening up your emails, the people that are clicking your emails, right? So you're going to start seeing a lot more relevant, good data on your account dashboards as well, right? So you're going to see a lot of changes in listings to leads related to generating the lead, engaging the lead, and converting these leads into business, right? So any questions on any of this? And part of it is it's just so simple, right? And that's really the beauty of this whole thing. All you really need to do is come in here, go to follow-ups, do your little walkthrough, turn them on, and let the system work for you, right? Now, I can always see here on the opens, right? And this might be some of the feedback that you send us on, hey, it'd be better if we do display opens this way versus that way and so on, because we know, right? So for example, when someone opens and clicks an email, so here I got 2 people that click this email, right? That's gonna be a great time to call people up, right? And so we're gonna make sure that we start delivering this content to you, this information to you. So in this case, when Ron opens up my email, that I'm able to reach out to him ASAP and just say, in this case, it was a PDF report, PDF guide on down payment assistance. So what am I going to do? When I see that Ron clicks and opens up that PDF guide, I'm going to call Ron and say, hey, Ron, Scott Pierce at LDL Realty, and I saw that you had some questions maybe on down payment assistance. How can I help you out? All right. So we are engaging with them at the time they're engaging with our content. We're engaging them with the right messages because we know what they're engaging with, and we're able to have a better conversation with them because of that. All right. And that's kind of information that's going to you'll start seeing that very soon on your account homepages, because we want, when you log in, that you see this data right away and are able to take action on it. All right. So yeah. So seller campaigns, the buyer campaigns, right? The sends, the opens, the click-throughs, You can restore templates. You can create email blasts. Right, and there you see that's the one I just created. It's still in draft format. Right, I can come here and I can edit it more now. Right, and get ready to send that out for my Valentine's Day Cupid giveaway. Right, whatever it is I want to do for Valentine's Day coming up. All right. So, any other questions on follow-up? We're already currently working on the text follow-up, so you'll start seeing that. And again, I'm pretty stoked on the implementation and how that's going to. I think it's going to be so easy. All you're literally going to do is just essentially it's going to be the same as activating the email follow-up. The text follow-up would be very similar. I believe you'll buy a 10-digit phone number for like $1 a month or something like that to enable the text follow-up, and then that'll be part of your account as well. All right. Let's see here. Question. All right. Awesome. All right. So any other questions related to follow-up before I move along? I thought I'd like to go through the presentation on how to generate $250,000 a year. We don't have about a half hour to do it, so it'd be a little bit brief, but I think everybody here would get something out of that. So do you want me to do that presentation, or does anybody have anything else they'd like me to cover first? All right, presentation, awesome. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing us do this presentation more pretty soon. And so you're still a little bit of a beta on this. So let's see here. So a new vision for your real estate business, the simple and easy plan to make over $250,000 in real estate. So I'm gonna go through this a little bit brief. I only have a half hour, which should be enough time. So here's a little bit of our clients, right? Been around since 2010. Right, Coldwell Banker Schmidt, I think they're the largest Coldwell Banker office in the world, definitely one of the largest in the US. If you're with RE/MAX, we're in RE/MAX Marketplace, right, so on and so forth. The 10,000 strong member mastermind group, a lot of amazing stuff there. So make sure you're in the mastermind group and hopefully you are partaking there.
Are you sick and tired of spending ridiculous money on lead generation only to find that the leads you get are crap anyway? Are you ready to get the best dollar for dollar lead gen and technology tool in the real estate industry today? Let me tell you, I'm standing with one of the smartest people in the industry, Scott Pierce. This guy's no dummy. This guy is so smart that he took all the stuff the big expensive companies are doing and more and packed it into a product that it's at a price point that will blow everybody else away. In fact, I've got people.
So Michael Hollickson there from Club Wealth. Love the group over there. Talking a little bit about listings to leads. So we're going to talk about lead generation. And a lot of things I think a lot of people don't even think about is how many leads do I need to be generating a month, right? Has anybody ever thought of that? Or do you just sit there and go, let me see if I can generate as many leads as I can, whatever that means, all right? Then we're going to talk about lead gen sources. Doesn't matter where your leads are coming from, right? Is that something that you've ever thought about? And then automation, right? We're going to talk about how to actually do it. Now, check this out. This is something that we're really excited about. The average cost per lead over the last $500,000, right, run through the Listings to Leads platform, we're generating buyer leads at $1.86, name, email, phone number, and now they come with buying timeframes. Seller leads, $5.77 each with name, email, phone numbers, and now they come with timeframes for selling. And the ads typically get around 1,000 to 3,000 brand impressions per ad, all right? So absolutely crazy on the lead gen and what you're getting from it, all right? Then we're gonna talk about lead engagement and conversion. So first impression, phone skills, and scripts. So I gotta find out if this is live yet. I think it actually is, where we are now including phone scripts in the lead notification emails, all right? So if if you're getting a lead with a phone number, hopefully you are calling these people up, right? I mean, if you're running your ads through Listings to Leads, you're getting phone numbers, and now you're getting purchase timeframes as well. So we now have phone scripts. If you're not comfortable or not familiar with the best practices, for following up with these leads, all right? Then we're gonna talk about how to automate your engagement and conversion. Now, how many new leads do you need to be generating a month, all right, to generate $250,000 a year in revenue? So I'm gonna use average numbers here. You can go to listingstoleads.com/calculator to do this on your own. But imagine a $300,000 sales price, 2.5% commission, then you're getting $7,500 from that deal, right? If you're on a split, let's say that's $6,000 to you. So you need to be doing about 3.5 deals a month, all right, or 42 deals a year, right? $250,000, that's our goal, divided by $6,000 that we're making per deal equals 42 deals a year, all right? Now, on the lead side, if we're closing, let's say an average of 1% of our leads, then we need to get 100 leads per deal, right? So that'd be about 350 leads a month. So there we go, 350 leads a month, 1% closing will bring me to about $250,000 a year, all right? And again, listingstoleads.com/calculator, and you can play with those numbers yourself. Now let's talk about where do leads come from, because this is something that's huge. And unfortunately, a lot of people sit on the internet leads, right? And that's kind of all they do, internet leads, because they don't want to talk to people. They don't want to really kind of get out there and do the things. They just want to sit behind their computer and do Facebook ads. And that's awesome. But think about this. Internet leads typically take longer to close, and they close at a less frequent pace, right? So, you know, internet leads anywhere from 1 to 2 years out a lot of times, right? Some of them are going to close quicker. Now, we've also got tools for the seller sphere of influence. So when you actually have your own listings, right, we got tools for the seller, and these close at a higher rate and quicker. We got tools for your database, all right? So all those people in your database who you've never talked to, who you have no idea who they are, right? Our tools for your database help you close even more people faster. And we got tools for your farm area, all right? The letters, postcards, and door hangers that close even more leads even faster, all right? So I want you to be aware of this, because if you sit on internet leads as your sole source of lead generation, you're going to be closing business further out on average and at a lower rate than average, all right? We want you using all the tools in Listings to Leads, because you're going to build a lot of business right off the internet, but we're going to build business off our seller sphere of influence, off of our database, and off of our farm. And we've got tools and automation for all of that, all right? Now, with all lead generation, some are going to close quicker than what I'm showing you here. Some will never close at all, right? The 5 to 7 touches for the low-hanging fruit, right? So the follow-up within Listings to Leads, right? Adding on that you're going to call them right away where you got the phone number will help you close them even faster, all right? Now, all leads and lead sources are not created equal, as we saw on that previous chart. And this is just a different kind of a representation of that, right? Every month, we want to be generating about 260 social media leads, 35 leads from our seller sphere of influence, 35 leads from our database, and 20 leads from our farm, right? If we can do this, we're going to be set up really, really well. And let me just say this, and I should have said it in the very beginning, all of these numbers, they're not exact, right? These are just based on our experience for the last 12 years of working with agents around the country and doing lead generation, all right? So, you know, you will ratchet up or down based on your area and your experience with this. But if you start with what we're talking about, you'll be set up really, really well for your future, all right? So this is per month. I break it out by the week here, makes it a little bit more palatable, I think. So we want to generate about 65 leads a week off of social media. Super, super easy. I'm telling you, you'll see a little bit later, all right? 10 leads from our seller sphere, 10 from our database, 5 from our farm. And now I know there's a lot of agents here that are new. You don't have a database. You don't have any listings. And so you're going to, but you still need to generate the business, all right? So you're going to be leaning on social media and the farm more than an experienced agent will have to, all right? Now, just real briefly here, let me just bring this whole thing up here. We're roughly going to be splitting our budget 50-50 between seller leads and buyer leads, right? That's what I recommend, all right? Seller leads are more expensive, but they typically close at a higher rate, meaning if I generate 100 seller leads, I'll probably close more of those 100 seller leads than had I generated 100 buyer leads, all right? Because buyer leads, it could be Mickey Mouse, it could be this or that, who knows, right? People love looking at real estate. So, you know, people will fill out a buyer lead form with no intention of doing anything, all right? They just like looking at homes. So, you know, if we can generate about 25% of our leads as seller leads, 75% of our leads as buyer leads, right? We'll be set up pretty nicely. Now, obviously balance this to your business and your area as needed. And then let's get into it. Let's get into how are we going to generate these 350 leads a month? How are we going to generate these 90 leads a week, right? Buyer and seller leads both. All right, so first of all, social media.
At 490, 26 days in, 490 leads. I would say our conversion ratio when it comes to these leads, because again, I don't think there's any bad lead, is pretty high. So having the opportunity to just 3, 4 clicks, and it does it for you. I mean, that's a game changer. For someone who just wants to do marketing on their own, I think it's a great platform, and it's laid out for you. So it guides you through the steps, right, of what needs to be done. But I think for someone who's just looking to get to market their listings and really enhance what it is they're doing, this is a great platform.
Right. So $46, 490 leads in 26 days. And you're going to be able to do what he does. I'll show you a little bit later how easy it is. All right. So for social media lead generation, 65 leads a week, whether it's you can borrow listings to market, you got your own listings, whether it is just listed, just sold, coming soon, pending, right? We got image templates, you can use your videos, right? So you got listings covered, and again, your listings, borrowed listings, all check this out. This is the standard lead form, right? For all of our ads, name, email, phone number, and the time frame to buy or sell. So the leads you're getting, right? You're gonna have really good information. You're gonna have a good phone number because of two-factor authentication, right? From Facebook, right? People lose their password, right? They send a text to the phone number. So it's gotta be a good phone number, right? And we find that from our clients, 80 to 90% of the time, it's a good phone number, right? And then you're getting also that purchase time frame information there as well, all right? We got PDF guides, all right? So we've got 50 plus PDF guides in your account right now, all branded to you, all branded to your office, all right? On home selling, on home buying that you can use also. And then you got unlimited landing pages. So all the what is your home worth, nearby home sales, custom landing pages. You got all the landing pages you could ever need, right? Between listings, between PDF guides and the landing pages, you have all the tools you need, all right, to generate business. We've also got a video and content library, so you can upload your videos that you may have for your listings, your area videos, right, to use within listings to leads. And the ads, the actual ads can have these videos in them, all right? So for social media, you might start off with 1 to 2 ads a week, right? And then build it up. I think having 4 ads a week, once you can afford it, is perfect. Having 2 ads a week is great to start out with, all right? So I would kind of think about it this way. I want 1 ad geared towards buyers, 1 ad geared towards sellers. So the buyer ad could be a just listed listing and a PDF guide on down payment assistance, right? Those are 2 different examples of a buyer ad. A seller ad would be a just sold listing and a PDF guide like 5 dangers of overpricing your home, a get your free home value, what is your home worth type of ad, right? Those are seller ads. So try to at least start out with 2 ads a week if you can, and then work your way up as you've got the budget. I am the cheapest person I know, so we don't want you wasting your money, but as you saw from Calvin a few slides back, $46 for 490 leads, absolutely nuts, all right? So we got you covered on social media. And when I show you how easy it is to do an ad, you're gonna flip, All right. Now your farm. What we want you to do with the farm. We got the nearby homeowners letters, you got postcards, you got door hangers. We're literally finishing up an integration with Express Copy where you'll be able to buy and send the letters and postcards right from within Listings to Leads to your farm area. That'll be live here within the next couple of weeks as well. But here's a little blurb from Chris talking about using the nearby homeowners letter. You know what's awesome about this guy? He moved to San Antonio from somewhere in the Midwest. I can't remember where, maybe not St. Louis. I don't know why that's popping in my mind, but he moved from somewhere. I believe his wife was from San Antonio, maybe. And so they moved to a brand new neighborhood from out of state. And in the first 3 months, using Listings to Leads, got 5 deals. How would getting an extra 5 deals in 3 months be on your business, especially being in a new area where nobody knows you, you got no history, and you're rolling through getting 5 listings in the first 3 months? Yeah, I think you're going to be noticed, and I think people are going to realize who you are pretty quickly. All right. So let's listen to Pat here talk about the nearby homeowner letter real quickly.
Probably the thing that I've had the most success with is the nearby homeowner letter. So as soon as I listed the property, I sent out 100 letters or so. And then as soon as it went under contract, I sent them out again. And then when it sold, I sent them out again. So it worked. So from that, I've had a lot of contact with the people there. And right now we're about to close on the 3rd condo. And that was a direct result of those letters.
All right, that's 3 condos in one building. How do you think that building is going to, do you think they're going to notice you when you sell your 3rd unit within one building? Yeah, I think they're going to notice you. All right. So using Listings to Leads help you dominate a farm, help you dominate a building, brand new experience. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just start using the tools and you're going to grow your business. All right. So we got the letters, we got postcards, we got door hangers, right? Whatever rocks your boat, do it. Even if you don't have any listings, you can use our tools. All right. You don't need listings to work this. All right. So with the letters, so here's a cool, so the letters, if you're going to mail them, what a lot of people do, so let's say I mail them on a Monday and they know they're going to start being delivered. And sometimes people will mail them to themselves so they know when they get delivered, right? Because they're going to be on that mailing list. So what, for even more fuel to the fire, if you're going to do a mailing, use a product like, man, give me a name of a dialer. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. Land Voice maybe, or oh man, I can't. Anyways, auto dial. Like don't sit there and type in phone numbers, right? You use a dialer, right? Load up the same contacts that you mailed and start dialing those the people that you mailed these letters to or the postcards to, and have a conversation like, hi, this is Scott the LDR Realty, and we've seen some information on a just sold listing near you recently and wanted to find out if you have any questions about that, right? Or we just sent you some information about an open house that we're having. We just seen some information related to a just listed listing near you, right? Do you get that? So when they get the letter and the phone call, because that's what advertising and marketing is all about, right? It's not a one-off. It's about hitting them in multiple ways, multiple times, over a period of time, right? The letters will work on their own. That's fine. But when you combine a letter with a dialer, you're going to get even more from it, all right? And if you're door knocking, it's kind of similar, right? We had a client, she door knocked a neighborhood and she had the letters with her. And so she would knock on the door. She would hand the letter to the person that came into the door, or she would just stick it in the door if they didn't answer. The first person told her to screw off, all right? She didn't get depressed. She didn't let it hang on her too hard, because the second person that she talked to, she didn't double in. She sold their home and helped them buy another home. So she got 2 deals from it, in other words, right? So the first person told her to screw off, pardon my language. The second person was a sell and a buy, right? Because the letters open up conversations, right? The letters give you a reason to be there. And it's not about selling, it's about being there for them, right? It's about giving them information and letting them talk, right? Hearing what they've got to say to you, right? And knowing right? As part of this, you're going to see here in about a minute is you want to make sure you're hitting these same areas, right? Once or twice a month, right? Because again, that's what advertising and marketing is all about. It's about being in front of people, because when I knock on your door, when I call you, you may or may not be ready to buy or sell right now, but you're probably going to be buying or selling at some point in the future. And as long as you know that I'm a professional, as long as you know that you can walk away from me and I'm not going to chase you down and berate you, right? As long as you know that you can do business with me on your terms, then you're probably going to be doing business with me as long as I stay in touch, as long as I stay in front of you over a period of time. And that's what it's all about, all right? And we got this slide here because, again, I just really want to point out to you, right? We want you to be doing social media ads. That is critical to success, right? Social media all day long. But do not forget about these other tools within listings to lead, because higher conversion, faster conversion, and it all works together, all right? And so again, here you're going to see, if you've got a listing, best practices, just do 100 letters or 100 postcards, right? 2 to 3 times around that listing, and always make sure it's the same homes. So some of our clients will do 100 just listed, right, letters, and then maybe they have an open house. Open houses are absolutely awesome, right? Our entire open house module is perfection. So they might use a letter for just listed, again, when there's an open house, and then lastly, when it's sold. And that way, it tells a story, doesn't it, right? It tells a story to these homeowners that Julie just listed a home. And then a couple of weeks later, Julie is having an open house. And then about a month later, Julie sold that house. And all through that process, Julie kept me, right, aware of what was going on with that property. And that's the kind of person that they want to do business with, right? And if you're knocking on the door, you might be engaging with these people once or twice during the course of that transaction. If you're mailing and auto dialing, right, again, don't sit there like a schlep, right, poking 10 digits, right, 200 times. That's going to wear your fingers out, and you're going to be dead afterwards. So if you use a dialer, right, it's dialing multiple phone numbers. As soon as somebody picks up, it drops it on your phone for a live conversation. That's the way to go. And I promise you, I can't promise anything, you're going to do well with this, all right? All of our clients, they absolutely love it. And this guy here, this guy was awesome. Never heard of him before in my life until he popped into the mastermind group, was a new agent, a new client, and took 2 listings from 1 mailing, right? So he sent out 100 letters, got 2 listings, right? And had a 3rd hot lead come in asking for a CMA, right? How awesome is that? How awesome is that? All right, pillar number 3, your farm. Or not your farm, I'm sorry, your database, right? Now, again, sometimes people go, what do you mean our database, right? Now, how big should your database be? You want to get around, I think you want to get about 4,000 leads in your database over time. Now, if you're starting from brand new, that may seem really intimidating, but don't let it intimidate you, all right? Don't get discouraged because you've only got 55 leads in your database and half of them are your family, right? Don't worry about it. Because, you know, as you saw from Calvin there, right, you can really ratchet this up quickly, right? You can generate 200 to 400 leads a month, no problem, all right? So, because here's the deal, about half are never going to buy or sell, right? Almost half are going to buy or sell with somebody else, just the nature of things. And as long as we stay in front of these people, well, I don't care if you use listings to leads for the follow-up, if you're using Boomtown for the follow-up, I don't care, because I want you to succeed in your business, all right? But, you know, in talking to our clients over the last 12 years, if you can get to about 4,000 leads in your database, right, and we're staying in touch with them, right, you're going to be fine, because we've got the tools to pull the buyers and sellers out of that database, right? And again, here's an example of one of the follow-ups, right? Again, short, pointed questions, value via the PDF guides, right? And we're going to have nice engagement out of our database. This is a client of ours, just the efficiency of using these PDF guides. He took our PDF guide, he downloaded it out of Listings to Leads, uploaded it in his CRM. I want to say he was using Real Geeks, but it might have been Boomtown. It doesn't matter. Could have been any CRM. So he sent this PDF guide to his coldest 300 buyer leads. You see right there, 300 dormant leads, and he got a 10% response rate, right? A 10% response rate from his cold, and this is a very experienced agent. This guy's been in the business for over a decade. I want to say like 15 to 20 years, all right? Very experienced agent, 10% response rate from this PDF guide. And you got over 50 of them. You got 25 plus for sellers, 25 plus for buyers. You're going to be just fine. Here's a few examples of those PDF guides within your Listings to Leads account. We have people downloading and uploading them to their website, right? So they can go to your website, whoever does your website, you can put these there as well. If you go to the mastermind group, I believe she did a post on that. But yeah, get yourself to the mastermind group and you'll find that post. Also, when you add listings to your account, whether it's your listing or a listing that you've borrowed from somebody else, you will get what's called the e-flyer for your database, right? And this tool here typically gets twice as many opens, twice as many clicks, and really good replies back, all right? Again, it looks like a long email, but it's actually really, really short, all right? Because the text above the image, all it's saying is want to let you know that we're having an open house, want to let you know that we just sold a listing, want to let you know that this listing is pending, right? Click here for more information or text, image of the property. And then if they scroll down, it'll let them know that when the home is sold, it will affect their home's value and offer them a home value. But these emails get awesome replies, awesome opens, awesome clicks, and they generate really, really good leads out of your database. So we want to make sure that you're using these for your database as well. And the fourth pillar is the seller sphere of influence. This is such an awesome tool. Again, we've had this in our system for over probably about a decade. And one of our great clients here, Dustin, he finally started using these tools a couple of years into being a client, because finally one of his sellers asked him for something to say on social media. And here's the deal, right? Hopefully your parents love you, right? Either way, they're not going to be promoting your listings too much, right? The person aside from you that is most vested into this transaction is your seller. Sellers absolutely love being able to promote their property on their social media to their friends. And the byproduct of that is putting you in front of their friends multiple times. And so we want to make sure that you're using the seller sphere of influence tools for both social media and email, right? Because this is such a phenomenal way to get listings. We've had clients literally call support on a weekend to say, I just added my listing to Listings to Leads, and I've got like 24 leads all of a sudden. I can't figure out where they're coming from. Well, it's coming because they entered the seller's name and email right into the listing. The system sent out the social media post in the e-flyer. The seller shared it with all of their friends on social media and email. And man, oh man, you'll get some of these honeypots where it is just, you're going to be shocked at the leads that you get from this. All right. So make sure you're using these tools as well. All right. So again, to recap here, we'd love to get about 350 leads a month, right? And if you're using another lead gen source or lead gen program before us, that number probably just looks absolutely insane, right? How many people think that this number looks absolutely insane, right? 350 leads a month, right? I know a lot of you are struggling to get 50 leads a month. And so you look at this and you go, Scott, I don't have time or money to do that, but it's easy, right? It's absolutely easy using Listings to Leads. If you're a new agent, right, you don't have a database, you don't have a seller, right? You don't have any listings, then we're gonna want you to lean on social media a little bit more and on that farm, right? You probably got more time than money at this point. And so especially on the farm, you just like what Chris did, 5 listings in 3 months and one farm, that's one neighborhood, all right? One neighborhood, 5 listings in 3 months, cold, right? Moved in, not from there, didn't go to school there, didn't know anybody there, 5 listings in 3 months. So if you follow the plan, there's no magic bullet, but there is Listings to Leads. And this is a great resource, all right? My favorite is either, I love our YouTube channel, right? Hopefully you'll go to youtube.com/listings to leads. And I like Instagram as well, right? Instagram.com/listings to leads. We got a blog. And if you're not in our mastermind group, you need to be an active client and you can ask for an invite to our mastermind group, all right? And, you know, most of you on this call, I believe, are clients, but just in case, office accounts, lender accounts, title officer accounts, and we also have managed services, all right? And to be honest, I'm gonna tell you right now, you hardly need our managed services. It is so easy to use this program. And let me just show one more thing before I let everybody go. Let's just walk through doing an ad for a listing. All right, now you can go to our YouTube channel. You can see a lot of great videos on this, but let me just show you how easy this is just while we're all together. All right, so let's say I've got a just listed listing, and this will work for any listing in my account, but I'm going to just use this one here. This is how fast it is to do an ad. Click market listing. And you see here, it's got the ad all set up, right? I got my location pre-filled, my radius pre-filled. This ad already complies with the Facebook special category for housing. I got my budget for $35 a day, $35 a week, right, which I can edit. I got my start and end date here, which I can edit. If I had a video, I could click change media and upload my video, and the video would literally appear here, all right? If I want to retarget, check how easy this is to retarget. Click that. Boom, I'm now retargeting. Click create ad. And that's all you have to do. Now, if you don't want to retarget, don't even retarget. Just all you got to do is click create ad, right? So you click that green market listing button to start off with, and then click create ad. Now, we have had clients tell us that their ads get approved way faster this way than going into the ads. Can you imagine going into the ads manager? How many people here have seen these trainers, right? And they get into the ads manager and they're fumbling around the ads, Facebook ads manager. And I laugh, I was talking to a group a couple of weeks ago and I was saying, your ad could be live before the other agent in the ads manager even gets to the last page of the ads manager, right? So check this out. See where it says on, view, edit. I'm gonna click view. And then this will come up. And if I click that blue show ad button over here, and I'll do one, let's go do a PDF guide ad after this. I'll show you how to do a PDF guide. So that way you can see how the listings work and how the PDF guides work. And I know it's 12:04, so let's say we'll end here in about 5 minutes. And we are recording this. We will make this available a little bit later. And let's see. All right, let's try that one more time. So again, click view. Usually this works out well. Sometimes Facebook can't find the ad. So again, I'll click show ad. And it's usually 1 or 2 posts down. So here's the first post. Jeez, where is that ad? Let's try it one more last time. The ad has already been submitted to Facebook for approval and all of that. So it could just be a Facebook bug here, not showing that ad. But usually click the blue. Oh, there it is. All right, I didn't scroll down far enough. So here's that ad that we just did. Check that out. I mean, I'm already, imagine these trainers, right? And they're in the Facebook ads manager and they're going through that, right? How insane, right, is that to be in the Facebook ads manager, right? Check this out. People click your ad, name, email, phone number, right? Next, good to go. All right, so let's go do a PDF guide. So if I click, I'm sorry, if I go to ads, and right here it says create PDF report ad. we have all of these PDF guides available, right? And if I do 12 mistakes to avoid, click create ad. And it's just as easy as the other one, right? Here's the ad. Now, the only thing I have to do here though is type in the city, because we don't have the city information like we get for a listing. So I'll type in the location. If I want to retarget again, I could. So if I got an audience created, all right. And again, I can even do a video here, but boom, publish. Pow, right? How easy is that? That's absolutely nuts, is how easy that is, all right? So there's the ad there, and you can see some of my ads are video ads, some are image ads, right? We do whole trainings on using video with listings to leads. So let's try that one. Let's see here. It can take about a minute for the view ad to work. So there we go. So now the ad, here's the ad that we just did from listings to leads. So for those of you that are absolutely confused because it didn't take that long, this is literally, it doesn't, when you use listings to leads to do your social media ads, this is literally how fast it is. It's almost, I've had people tell me it's almost like magic, right? So again, people click the ad, name, email, phone number, time frame. I'll just say 1 to 3 months. All right. Next. And then check this out. And here I am downloading my PDF guide, right? That easy. All right, any other last questions before I let you go? Everybody good? So if you have any questions on anything we covered today, by all means, please call our support team and get yourself into the mastermind group, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.